Hey, there we go. Good afternoon, everybody. Hope everyone is doing well today. Let's see. Nobody's in here yet. That's a shame, but I'm sure some people will join in fairly soon. And well, just as I say, someone will join fairly soon. There's my buddy Jason down in Aruba. You were out a couple of weeks. Well, hope you weren't sick. I don't know what the Wuhan Red Death situation is down there. I hope it's better than it is up here. What's up there, Ballard? And there's Neo, Mr. Anderson. Yes. I was particularly thinking about Neo there. I just saw a video yesterday of somebody talking about the upcoming Matrix 4. And I'm going to be interested in watching the Matrix 4, considering how they killed off Neo and Trinity at the end of Matrix 3. Spoiler alert. So I'm going to be interested in how they managed to resurrect two dead people. I guess if you're in a computer simulation, you can do anything you want. Albert is here. That's good. Colby's here. That's good. Only 140 positive beer flu patients down there, huh? That's pretty good. Considering, I think we get 140 patients in an hour around these parts. But and Jason, don't worry about the second part of the Navitimer / rotating slide rule video that you said is going to happen. Whenever it happens, it happens. I mean, I'm not here to hold you to any schedule. Certainly not. So when you get the opportunity to make it, go ahead and make it. Don't worry about me. I just made the suggestion. After I make the suggestion, my role in the whole thing is over. Like my hoodie, it says horsepower is like guns. Better to better have it and not need it than need it and not have it. So this appeals to my love of cars, my love of the Second Amendment and firepower, and it keeps me warm, though. Even though it's Florida, past few days it's been a little chilly down here in Florida. I mean, comparatively, I'm sure it's warmer than a lot of places up north. I bet in Aruba it's in the 80s. Let's see. Ballard, yes, Ballard is correct in saying he's been on here for a year, and today is his birthday, and he's promoting his channel on my live stream. Nice. You better give me a like, Ballard. You better consider promoting my channel on your stream one time, since you managed to do it here. While I'm in the middle of promoting things, of course, don't forget to click the thumbs up button. That does help the channel. So either while you're here or on the way out or whatever, just give me a click on that thumbs up. And also recognize that the super chat is available if you wish to contribute monetarily. Or my PayPal link is in the description. If one of the moderators wants to pop that, I'll pop it in the chat right now. Hang on just a minute. And oops, lost my place. I'm going to pop it in there. And if one of the moderators wants to put that in there every once in a while for me, that would be most kind. And in a little bit, I'll pop the StreamYard link. So if anyone wants to come in here and get abused, that's fine. Let's see. One of my channels I subscribe to has got a video up. Let's see. Yeah, that's true, Jason. You don't have a very big population down there in the island. Albert thinks we're going to have an easy game, we being the Florida Gators, against the Corn Dog. Well, I hope so, but then again, we don't have a defense. So maybe we use this opportunity to try and improve our defense a little bit. Maybe so we don't get run over quite so quickly by Alabama in 2 weeks. But Blue Shirt Buddha's here. How you doing, sir? Let's see. Jason is reminding me that there have been many different versions of watch-based slide rules. Oh, you're going to design your own and make it look awesome. I don't believe, I don't doubt that you will, but what would be better is if you gave a course in elementary watch slide rule use, because I have this beautiful Navitimer over here with a well laid out pilot's slide rule bezel. No idea how to use it. And quite frankly, if I tried to learn how to use it, my head would explode because I'm old and shit explodes when you're old. Let's see. My friend Dave, Sports Live in the ATL, or Slita, is here. That's good. He's saying hello to me, wishing Val a happy birthday. And he says that his infection, which he had down here somewhere, is almost gone. So that's good. I'm glad it is, Dave, because people are going to clown. I know you don't care if people clown you about what your problem there was. It was an infection. Infection is to be taken seriously. It doesn't matter the cause of the infection. The cause of the infection could be trivial. The cause of the infection could be a mosquito bite. But if it gets infected, then it is no longer trivial, is it? I'd like to see how some of these people who I have seen clowning you, and I've kept my mouth shut because, I'm old enough to have had my share of bodily injuries, including infections that have started out as something extremely benign. I'd like to see how some of these people would react to, say, to an ingrown toenail or something like that, or a hangnail on your thumb that gets torn off and then gets infected because shit gets into it, and then all of a sudden it's very painful. You can't use your thumb for anything anymore, and all of a sudden you need medication to clear it up. So clown him all you want. Medical infection is not going to be a trivial thing. It shouldn't be treated as trivial. Even if the root cause may have been trivial, once it's gotten to the infected stage, it's no longer a laughing matter. It's now painful and a problem. But that's just me. I could be wrong, Let's see. Atypical Gump is here. Good. No, don't worry about that, Dave. Don't worry about the donation is optional. I pointed out because everybody else points it out when they're monetized and they have super chat function available, when they have a PayPal function. Everyone else I know does it, whether they're in the TTC or whether they're pro guys or whether they're watch guys. They're monetized. They point it out during the live streams once or twice, and then they some guys and gals get on here and e-beg. I don't do that. I mention it twice at most. I ask a moderator to post the link once in a while, like I did, And that's about the end of it. I mean, you know, I'm not doing this channel. I'm not trying to make a living on this channel. I'm trying to have some fun, you know, and every month or so I earn enough money to, you know, put towards my Grail watch, which I hope to buy in 2021. I'm putting money aside into a sequestered part of my portfolio, if you will, and it's there just for this watch. And when I get to the number, I'll drain that account and I'll buy the watch, and then it'll be great because it's a great watch. Let's see. Where are we now? Jason says the different versions of the video I'm making. This refers to slide rules on a watch. I'm making a sort of crash course on how to use a slide rule. Good. I'm going to watch that video on a continuous loop until it penetrates. It actually a hell of a lot of useful on everyday life than people think. I've heard that if you get good at a slide rule on a watch, that you can calculate a tip on the watch fast, tip at a restaurant or something faster than somebody could do it on the calculator on their iPhone or Droid, whatever. Sleeta says, I don't care, you are right. I barely feel anything. My face is back down to where it's supposed to be. No more Advil, no more antibiotics, nothing. Thank good. I'm glad to hear that. Dave also says, oh, it's the same thing. Yeah, that's that syndrome where the chat pops that up twice. Jason said this John Mayer G-Shock kicked my butt twice. Twice I had to watch. I had to watch on my cart, only to be too slow. Yeah, when one of these watches comes out and the demand for the damn thing is crazy, like this brand new G-Shock that was co-designed by John Mayer. And people, you know, and like you pointed out on the video where it's a $180 watch and it's already being sold on eBay for $500. I mean, people just go crazy over this shit. Now, being a Zelos guy and seeing that happen to Zelos, I understand. But Zelos has a relatively limited production compared to a G-Shock, so but I understand the phenomenon. By the way, under my sweatshirt, wearing my Zelos ZX1. I can't get that thing turned. ZX1 chronograph. That's the titanium case, titanium strap with the black dial, white subdials. Love my ZX. Just love them. By the way, if you wonder why I'm glancing over here a lot, I'm expecting a call from my repair shop. The Saleen went in today for a little routine maintenance. It did, however, have one small problem they might have had to order a part for. So I'm waiting for them to call me and tell me what's going on. If the phone rings, I'll have to answer it. I'll just mute, take the call real quick, and then find out. But nothing wrong with the Saleen. Just once a year. I don't drive the car that much, maybe a few thousand miles a year. But once a year in December, I change the oil. And it's now time for that. Even though it's full synthetic, you know, I don't want to leave oil in a car for more than a year. It gets gas contamination, carbon buildup. It's not good for the car. So fresh oil change, fresh filter, especially on a supercharged motor. You don't want to keep old oil in a blown motor. It can have very bad consequences, and that's why if you look inside my motor, it's clean because I take care of my car. Unlike some people I know who have enough sludge on the inside of their motor that they could create diamonds. Let's see. Selita says next week Bucks at Falcons. I need something to laugh at during Falcon season. Okay. Well, yeah. Dave is a big Atlanta Falcons. He's a big Georgia professional sports fan in general, but he's a big Atlanta Falcons fan. The Falcons have sort of let him down this year. So yeah, I understand. Let's see. So he's talking with Ballard, so we can skip all that. Jason says that watch, meaning the John Mayer G-Shock, is expensive for $180, but hard to get one. Yeah, I don't understand why a G-Shock with no solar, no Bluetooth, no radio controlled updating. Quite honestly, it's a relatively pedestrian looking G-Shock, except for the special colorations, like you pointed out in your video. I don't understand why this watch is $180. I think it should be probably more like, 125, 130, 40, 150 at the most. I think it's overpriced. But, the John Mayer name attached to it is probably what's driving all this. But quite honestly, I'm not overly impressed with the name John Mayer, so it doesn't do anything for me, and it's not a watch I would wear normally. I don't like that particular G-Shock aesthetic. I've only recently begun to like the G-Shock squares, so pardon me. So the John Mayer G-Shock just doesn't impress me. But, a wrist for every, like they say, an ass for every seat, a watch for every wrist, Slim Shady Kane is here. I hope he is not driving while he's saying good morning, ladies and sirs, but I hope he's where are you, Slim? Are you stopped? Are you loading, unloading, lunch break? What's going on? Albert wants to know what kind of car I have. I have a 2000 Saleen Mustang, authentic Mustang. I have a video of it on my channel. It's about a 30-minute video. It's a full walk around showing its current. It's probably the video's close to a year old at this point, but the car hasn't changed that much. Showing what the car is, what I've done to it, et cetera, et cetera. Really, now I'm biased. I think it's a damn fine looking automobile. Slim, for example, says it's, his motto is Mopar or no car, but I think he tolerates a Saleen. Nice car though, so if you're interested in it, definitely check it out. Sleeta says, I want to get a car tune up. It runs well, but it's time, I think, to just clean out. Yeah, I used to have a shop I could recommend to you down up there in Atlanta, but he's gone a little downhill from what I understand. So I wouldn't recommend him to you anymore. And quite frankly, I wouldn't know who to send you to. Hopefully you have a guy or a place you can take it to that you trust. Dave also wants to know what makes one get into watch collecting. And when did they start adding email and internet to watches? Well, I'll answer the second question first. Email and internet to watches is a smart watch phenomena. I don't consider those to be watches. I consider those to be wrist-based cell phones, especially the more modern ones where they're not tied to the cell phone and rely on the cell phone to do to connect and do functions through. The newer Apple, I think after the fourth generation, might be after the third generation, but after the fourth generation through the current, you can actually do phone calls and text and such like that through the phone itself, through the watch itself. The problem is the watch has to have a separate internet account and a separate phone number, quote unquote, phone number, than the iPhone. So now you're paying for two internet devices instead of one. This is the same thing that plagued and still plagues These things, iPads. This one is a Wi-Fi only, and it's an old one. I just keep it around for a couple of reasons. But iPads that had cell connectivity capability, you had to buy a separate internet plan through your internet provider. It was assigned a separate phone number, even though you couldn't make calls on it. And it had its own internet account, its own texting account, its own data usage account, etc. And that to me isn't a watch. An Apple Watch isn't a watch. It's an internet device, and I don't count that. Now, what made me get into watch collecting was a lot of car guys, for example, like me, are also watch guys because we like mechanical things. And I have too. Now, I've on and off owned watches for most of my life. And right after my divorce in 2005, halfway through 2005 or so, I started buying some watches. And I bought a couple of my serious watch pieces that I still have today. All those other watches weren't very serious and they're gone. And once I had those really nice watches, I kind of faded away for a while. My dad has been a watch collector since the 80s. And he brought me back into the watch collecting by asking, he started showing me his watch collection, which I honestly didn't know he had for the longest time. I knew he had a couple of watches, but I didn't know that at the time he had more like a dozen. And then he gave me one of those watches that was not functioning anymore. It was a Rolex. It was dead. And he says, "You can have this watch. I don't want to get it fixed. I figure you'll either get it fixed or you can sell it as a non-runner." And I liked the watch. It was a beautiful piece. And I got it fixed at a reasonable price through a authorized Rolex repair facility. Got it running again for a reasonable amount of money, at least as far as a Rolex is concerned. And I was wearing it, and I reconnected with the pleasure of wearing watches again, not only to tell time, but as an accessory, as something that I could enjoy wearing just for the pleasure of wearing it. And I've been collecting watches now for about 5 or 6 years, and I built up a pretty good collection, if I can say that, and not sound terribly immodest. But how does one get into watch collecting? I mean, that the answers to that are as varied as how many grains of sand are on a beach. I mean, there are different reasons for different people. My reason was a love of cars and things mechanical combined with a very important family influence. I realize that's a long drawn out, but then again, I speak in long drawn out sentences, don't I? Let's see. Where did we leave off here? F. Fletch is here. I'm sorry. I know you just obviously popped in a little bit ago. I just didn't see you. I don't have any experience with helm divers. My main experience with the micro brands is Zelos, as you could probably tell from looking at my video collection. There are a bunch of watches under $500 which are good. I believe later this week or early next week, Zelos is actually coming out with another watch line called the Black Tip, which is a 70s inspired design diver watch. It's going to be about $429. There's going to be five different colorways available. If you want something a little more conventional, if you go to longislandwatch.com and look at their Islanders series, it's an in-house series that's based heavily on the Seiko SKX lineup, which is discontinued. Those watches are very, very attractive, and I believe there's like 3 dozen different versions of the Islander, 3 dozen different models, all well under $500. You can look at the Seiko 5 series, which came out to replace the SKX. The SKXs themselves, even though they're discontinued, are still out there. There's the Orient Mako. There's the Orient Bambino, which is more of a dress watch. There are still quite a number of Zelos watches out there, or, not older, but obviously already released designs. The Swordfish lineup, the Thresher lineup, the Mako lineup. Those might still be had under $500 or under $600. I mean, there's so many watches out there under $500. There's a secondary market out there. Guys like me who buy watches, wear them for a while, and then flip them. If you go to eBay, you can go to Chrono24. You can go to Watch You Seek, WATCHU, the letter U, SEEK.com. Their forum has a private seller forum that I've bought and sold watches on. The number of watches under $500, $600, $700 are almost endless. And all you have to do is look. And I've given you just a few places to look. There are many others. Slim Shady is loading. He's not driving. Good. Albert Sancho says, go Bucks. Oh, yawn. Pro Ball. No offense, Salita, but you know my feelings on Pro Ball. Jason says, G-Shock has this customization affiliate program where anyone can order a custom colorway G-Shock. Of course, the lesser the number, the more expensive. And going back to F. Fletch, jump onto Amazon and go look at all the G-Shocks. I mean, you can get Casio G-Shocks for as low as $45 or as high as a couple of $1,000. It all depends on color and materials and features. You can. There are some beauties out there. Well under. I mean, there are metal G-Shocks out there for $500. You can go on a Joma shop or Mimo's and look there. I mean, there are so many places to get G-Shocks at under $500. It's very easy. Just depends on the style of watch you want. Let's see. Yes, that's where my channel handle came from, SaleenDriver. I drive a Saleen. And initially, when I started the channel many, many years ago, it was going to be all about my Saleen and driving videos and car shows and all kinds of stuff like that. And I wasn't very good at those videos. I didn't do a lot of them. And then all of a sudden, I saw watch channels. I said, I can do that. I'm going to do that too, because I love watches and I have a passion for them. And I wanted to share the passion. And hey, then the channel grew. And I recently cracked 1,700 subscribers. So to all my subscribers that are here with me, there's only 10 of you at the moment, but better than none. I definitely appreciate all your support and all the support of all my subscribers and hopefully all my future subscribers. I would really. Salita is on Sports Live in the ATL. If you're a fan of pro sports, especially Atlanta Pro Sports, you definitely should give his channel a check. He's on the road to 3,000 subs. I'm on the road to 2,000. I mean, you can't get to 3,000 until you get to 2,000. So I'm on the road to 2,000 subs. So a little under 300 left, and I can get there. And then I'll do a contest. Give another watch away or something. Let's see. Sleeta says he's got a 2008 Dodge Avenger. It's a good car. And I assume Randall, is that Randy's or Randy's is an awesome place. So I assume that's your repair shop of choice. Yeah, that's a good point, Dave. Yeah, this world has changed. People wouldn't survive back in the 70s and 80s when, well, you and I grew up back then. We actually talked to. I often regaled my children with stories of back in the good old days, because now I'm old and old people do that. Back in the good old days of, well, what did we have back then, Dave? Like 5 channels on the TV. And if the president was speaking on, doing one of his speeches or something, 3 or 4 of the channels were shot and your evening was ruined. Cell phones, didn't have cell phones. Didn't have video games, didn't have any of that stuff. I remember my girls were acting up once really badly when they were much younger. And I gave them, I finally was at my wit's end. I couldn't figure out how to crack through that stupidity that all children are inflicted with. And I couldn't figure out a way to crack through that rock hard shell until I came up with a punishment that I dubbed the 70s. And I said, okay, that's it. You're going to do a weekend in the 1970s. And he looked at me like I was an idiot. And I said, what does that mean? I said, well, first of all, give me your cell phones. Give me your iPads. Give me your computer games. Okay. I took all that away. I locked it away in a closet. I disconnected their cable and disconnected all the electronics and all the fun stuff that they were growing up with and I didn't have back in the 70s. And that was their punishment for 3 days. Friday night until Monday morning when they went back to school. None of it. It was all confiscated. It was all gone. By the end of Saturday, they were psychotic. By the end of Saturday, by Saturday night around dinner time, they were out of their minds. And they were begging me, we will do anything. Please, Daddy, please give us, relent. I relented a little bit. I gave them back their cell phones. Everything else I kept. The games, the cable TV, all that. I gave them their cell phones back. And they were by the end of the weekend, they were out of their mind. They towed the line ever since. And when they got out of line too much, I said, 70s, back in the line. So young parents out there, because my kids are now 23 and 19, so this doesn't work on them anymore, obviously. But if you have young kids, and you're looking for some way to get through to them that you are not someone to be fucked with, the 70s punishment will work. Now, it may be a little harder because of, they have to use the computers for schoolwork, so you work around that. But take away the computers, take away the cell phones, take away the Game Boys or the whatever the hell they're called now, take away the cable TV, send them back to the 1970s where none of that shit existed and let them survive a weekend or a few days like that. I guarantee you they will toe the line. Give it a try. You're welcome. Let's see. Jason says, the more the company supports the lifespan of the watch, the more a watch becomes collectible. Anomalies, of course, happen like G-Shocks because that's a good point. Definitely. Let's see. Selena says, having a collection hobby is interesting, not my thing. However, whatever makes you happy. Yeah, I agree. Dave said, obviously, a while ago, I'm sorry I didn't catch up until now. I got to go. Thanks for the kind words and sticking with me. Nice channel. Happy holidays. Well, thank you. And same back to you, sir. And I can say Merry Christmas without bursting into flames, even though I'm Jewish. Stay tuned tomorrow. Nice video coming out tomorrow around sunset from my sunset. I think y'all will find it educational, or maybe not. I don't know. Floridian is here. What is up, sir? F Fletch says I have an older SKX. I'll check all that out. You're welcome. I'm more than happy to help. And if you have any more questions to ask of me, just get a hold of me in one of my comments on the comment section of one of my videos. I'm more than happy to help folks out. I've got plenty of recommendations on places to go, watches to look at. Also, F Fletch, you might want to check out Design Ateliers. You know, Jason, you say that at the beginning of every one of your videos, and it still doesn't register. Atelier, Design Atelier. Check his channel out too, because very educational videos are coming out of his channel, and you definitely will learn something. Although it's one watch at a time kind of learning, but there are definitely principles that can be applied to other watches. Oh, why do I always get a dry mouth? Let's see. Yes, Albert, I just reached 1,700 subscribers. I don't know. My channel isn't growing as quickly as I wish it would, but, you know, it's growing. You know, got over 1,700. Next stop is 1,800, you know, then 1,900. And, you know, one foot in front of the other. And if, you know, some of those 1,700 people tell other people about the channel, and I keep doing decent videos and live streams and stuff like that people are interested in, you know, people will be drawn to the channel. And before you know it, you know, I'll be popular-ish. You know, some channels grow faster than others. Tissot C-Star is definitely a great watch. Definitely, I think you should check that out. Jason has to leave. I'm glad you were here, sir. I appreciate your support as always. Let's see. F Fletch, if you want a micro brand, I you know what I'm going to say, Fletch. Zelos. You know, my micro brand experience begins and ends at Zelos. I mean, I've handled other micro brands through the channel and even outside of the channel, and some of them are really, really nice watches. A lot of them are really nice watches. There are a lot of them that are garbage, but Zelos is where I begin and end with micro brands. I am a shameless Zelos fanboy. I have literally right now, I have in that room over there, to my left, your right, I have 30 of them. My dad has another 8. Yeah, 8 of them. He wears them all the time. And this is a man who can afford, you know, good stuff. Really, really good stuff. And he loves his Zelos watches. He wears a lot of them. They're really nice watches. And when the black tip comes out at the end of this work week, so I'm told, I'll buy one of those. And if you're looking at a Zelos watch or a micro brand watch and you want a diver, Zelos has plenty of them. I mean, different prices, different designs, different thicknesses, different depth ratings and stuff like that. The black tip is going to be their newest diver offering. And I'm definitely buying one. I've seen the pictures. I like what I see. I know Zelos, and I know that the quality is there and the customer service is second to none. And Yeah, if you're looking for a diver under $500, you're going to find one over at Zelos. Let's see. Washing dishes by hand. That's a good suggestion, Gump. But I don't want to go that far because the dishwasher does a really good job at, throwing good hot water on the dishes and giving them sanitizing them. So other than my kitchen knives, chef's knives and stuff like that, I hand wash those, but everything else goes to the dishwasher. But I still think that 70s punishment is very effective. Bama Buddy is here. How you doing, sir? He said, glad your team made it to Atlanta. May the best team win. Good luck, but roll tide. Well, I mean, I am a Florida Gator fan. Everybody knows that. And I want my team to do well. I want my team to win every game they play. But I'm also an honest man and a realistic man. And I know that Florida doesn't have a great chance to win this game. They have a chance. They could win this game. I don't see why they couldn't. Well, I do see why they couldn't. But I nobody who knows football, nobody who has an IQ, a football IQ of more than 3, knows that Florida has a chance in the game. But is it a realistic chance? Yeah, it's a realistic chance, but it's not a huge chance. Florida has a glaring deficiency on that team, and its name is Todd Grantham, or as I call him, Lardass. Florida has a weak defense. Now, a lot of teams in college football today don't have great defenses, but at Alabama for a good part of the season didn't have a good defense either. But their defense is showing improvement and has improved consistently over the course of the season. Florida's defense has shown fleeting moments of goodness, followed by more WTF moments than I care to think about. So I don't see Florida. I mean, I have an image in my head of a way that Florida could win this game, but realistically, it's Alabama's game to lose. So we'll play the game. Obviously, going to play the game. You go out on the field and you play the game, and whoever wins wins. Now, Alabama going to be favored in that game? Oh yeah. They'll probably be favored by 10 points when the line comes out, if it hasn't already. At least 10 points, probably 14 points. Can Florida win the game? Yes. I mean, obviously they can win the game. I mean, South Carolina beat Georgia last year, and nobody saw that coming. Not even the most ardent Shamecock fan in the world saw South Carolina rolling into Athens and winning that game. Nobody saw that. I think it was in Athens. So nobody saw Michigan lose to Appalachian State in the Big House all those years ago. I don't think anyone saw BYU losing to Coastal Carolina. Nobody saw Marshall getting shut out by a lesser team. I forgot who it was. Things happen on the field, but it's Alabama's game to win or lose. Florida will put up, I believe, a really good fight. Florida will probably put up more points on Alabama than any other team has this year. But we'll see what happens. It's going to be. I hope it's a good game. I hope it's not another 2016, which was embarrassing. And then we'll see what happens with respect to bowl games and playoffs after that. I still think Kyle Trask is the number one contender for the Heisman. I think even if Florida loses the game, if Trask puts up really good numbers, he deserves the Heisman. He's put up better numbers throughout the season than Matt Jones. He's set more records than Matt Jones. He's about to set a couple more records this weekend against LSU if he throws a couple of touchdown passes. He's putting up very, very good numbers. I mean, Tim Tebow won the Heisman on a 9-3 team in 2007. And then they went out and lost the bowl game to Michigan. So a 9-4 team at the end of the year. So it can be done. I would like to see Trask win the Heisman. I think that would probably be one of the greatest stories in college football history. How a kid who hadn't started a game since 8th grade ended up at a major program, got his opportunity, and made the absolute most of it. So I think that's a hell of a story. I would like to see it happen. I would like to see it happen with a Florida win in the SEC championship game. Realistically, it probably isn't going to happen, but we'll see. I mean, you don't play these games on paper. You play them on the field. And we'll see what happens when the teams hit the field. And that's it. You play the game. Let's see. XCal215. That's a username I hadn't seen before. So welcome. I'm glad you're here, sir. Zelos, he said, Zelos, in my opinion, is the best micro brand out there. I'm actually wearing my Swordfish right now. Can't go wrong with Zelos. I love it. Yeah, I cannot argue with that 100%. I actually have 4 Swordfish. I have 10 of the ZX watches. In fact, I'm wearing a ZX watch right now. I'll take it off here. This is the ZX1. This is the full titanium, black dial, white subdials that are full loomed. This one is a automatic. Love of all the Zelos lineups I have, and I have multiple lineups. The ZX is my favorite. I'm a big fan of chronographs, and I love this chronograph. It really ticks all the boxes for me. And I own the ZX line ran ZX1 through 8, and then I have a couple of specials. I have one example of each of the ZX watches made. So that was somewhat more difficult to do than you would imagine. Pardon me. Lunch is coming back to haunt me. But I love the ZX lineup. I think it's a hell of a watch. But the Swordfish is turning out to probably be the most popular lineup of Zelos watches ever made. William Carey's here. Yep, glad you could make it. Definitely, sir. Let's see. Fletch says one thing Bama and Florida can agree on is this. Never mind. We can probably agree also that Ohio is a fraud. I mean, Ohio State, not Ohio, and are trying to back into. Yeah, and I think the Big Ten is probably going to change the rules. I mean, hell, if you can change the rules in the middle of an election for a president, I'm looking at you, Pennsylvania, and other places. If you can change the rules for something important like national elections, and changing the rules for a football team to back its ass into the conference championship game should be child's play. And all you have to do is do it and then close the door, cover your ears and go la, 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 and not listen to anybody anymore because you already did it. So, yeah, I believe that even though Ohio State won't get to the 6-game threshold that they're supposed to, that they passed the rules to do, at the beginning of the season, the Big Ten will just say, screw it, let them in. Go beat the shit out of Northwestern, and then you can go play in the championship game. And I think if the NCAA had any balls, they'd call bullshit, and they wouldn't let them in. But they'll let them in because reasons, whatever. I think it's crap, but Ohio State is almost certainly going to get in. Let's see. Albert says, if Florida beats Alabama, then the playoffs will be from 1 to 4, Clemson, Florida, Ohio State, Alabama. That's assuming Clemson gets past Notre Dame, but we'll see. Yeah, obviously if Florida beats Alabama and becomes the SEC champion, they're in, Clemson wins the ACC championship, they're in. I think Alabama should be the 4th team in because they won their division. A&M didn't, and we all know that, and Alabama beat A&M. So, yeah, they would be the 4th team. I don't think anyone from the Pac-12 or the Big 12 deserves to get in ahead of Alabama. Lucas T is here. Hello to you, sir. Bama Boy says it's going to be a passing shootout. Yep. Well, it doesn't have to be on Alabama's side. Alabama has a running game. They just hand the ball off to Najee and let him just slam into the Florida defense. And unless Grantham comes up with a game plan that can shut Najee down, that may be the best way to go, is run the ball at the Florida defense and then keep the linebackers honest and then have Jones go over the top when he has to. But we'll see. Oh, better. Albert Sancho says, then the Natty will be UF versus Alabama, and Alabama winning, just like 2011 versus LSU and 17 versus Georgia. Maybe. But 1 week at a time. We still have to get through this week, and this week is LSU. Revenge game in the swamp. I'm going to enjoy that. I hope Florida runs over, and respect to my good friend Tiger Cat TK, who is a big LSU fan, and I love her dearly. But I'm sorry, my dear. I hope my Gators run over your team and run through them, over them, around them, and just, I'm hoping for big numbers. I'm hoping for 50. Would be nice. It's senior day at the swamp, so, why not send the seniors off with a half 100 hung on the defending national champions? That would be nice. Fletch, I didn't know you were in Hawaii. Okay. Yeah, well, Hawaii is what, 5 or 6 hours behind? 5. What time is it in Hawaii? Let's see. Maddie's here. One of the Tide fans that I know. One of the Gumps. Which statement was a statement filled with misleading information? I try not to give misleading information, sir. So you have to be more, you have to, if you're going to call me out on something, you got to be specific. F. Fletch says it's 7:52. 10, 11, 12. So you're 5 hours behind me. Okay. Yep. Some people love Florida. Some people love LSU. Everyone loves Archie. I assume Archie is my friend BVD's dog, Archie. Let's see. No, I'm getting some troll action in here. I've got Archie's fan account, and not really a troll, but funny accounts. And Chess Hall accidentally posted his PayPal link. So why is Salida not going to something? Oh, stop it. You get one of those. The next one, you're gone. I'm not. I'm not entertaining that crap on this channel. Save that for Lou and BVD, and Chess, and all the other guys. I'm not playing this Salida I'm not playing the Salida troll game here. I really don't want to do it. It's not what I'm about here. Maddie says my prediction for the SEC championship: Bama 52, Florida 45. I could definitely see that kind of score. I'm sure the over under that Vegas sets for that game is going to be way up there. We'll see. Bama buddy, how is Tiger Cat? I haven't seen her in a while. Last time I communicated with Tiger Cat was very briefly. I think she's okay. She got into a little bit of unnecessary bullshit with another friend of mine, Jeff Webster, and she decided to get off social media for a while. So she got off YouTube, she got off Facebook, she got off Messenger. I don't know if she has any other media accounts. She just wants to lie low for a little while and just kind of relax and get away from the bullshit that unfortunately she knows, and I know, and we all know that we can create clouds of bullshit around ourselves. So she wanted to decompress, and I don't blame her. So TK, if you are watching this at any point, I love you. Take all the time you need, obviously, and come back to us rested and mentally strong. And don't worry about J-Dub. He probably didn't mean it in the end. And even if he did, you got more people around that love you than don't love you. So we'll see you soon. I know. Let's see. Where are we here? Yeah, Archie fan account is Archie the dog, which is BVD's cute little puppy dog. So I wonder if this is BVD. Could be. Albert Sanchez said, let's see. He thinks the score would be too high, meaning Alabama defense. Okay, that's a fair point. Maybe Maddie's giving a little too much credit to Florida's offense, or maybe he's giving not enough credit to Alabama's defense, but who knows? Archie fan account asks, are you going to get Archie a miniature watch for his Christmas gift? No. He might eat it. Let's see. Bama buddy, that's a good question. It shows you care about TK, and I hope I was able to provide a little bit of answer for you. What I told you is what I know and all I know. I'd like to talk to TK more extensively, but I'm going to let that happen with her at her discretion and at her time and place, because I have that respect for her. I don't want to bother her. She got a lot going on offline, and I know about a little bit of it. And I'm not going to talk about that because that's not anybody's business. But, she's got things going on, and she deserves her time to deal with those things. Let's see. Slim Shady Kane is of the opinion TK blew up on J-Dub for no reason, and TK owes J-Dub an apology. I don't know. I wasn't there, and I haven't seen any video or audio of it. So if that's what you think, I'll take you at your word, sir. But I'm it's not my. I got no dog in that fight, so I don't want to throw my dog in the ring on that one. So let's see. Tennessee Mike is here. Tennessee Mike is another Alabama fan. Quick hello as I have to get back to work. Well, I appreciate you stopping by, Mike, as always. I mean, you've always been a good supporter of my channel, so I appreciate it. Let's see. Uncle Lou's golf cap. So definitely getting some of the more interesting folks in there. Uncle Lou's Golf Cat says, stop getting my wearer in trouble with his wife. You are inspiring him to buy way too many watches. No, sir. No. I'm sorry, Mr. Cap, but your owner, your wearer, is at least chronologically an adult and can make his own decisions. And the only person that's going to get their ass kicked by Mrs. Lou is Uncle Lou. Because Mrs. Lou is going to drive down here, 8-9 hours just to kick my sorry little ass. So Uncle Lou has to deal with Mrs. Lou. So, and if Uncle Lou asks me questions about my area of expertise, he expects answers. Like when I ask him about college football, I expect answers. When he asks me about watches or Mustangs or cars, he expects answers, and he's going to get them. And if Mrs. Lou wants to come and kick my ass, I'll run and hide because I'm afraid of Mrs. Lou. Let's see. Slim Shady Kane says he was there. Okay. I understand that, Slim. You were there, I wasn't, so that's why you have an opinion that's informed, and I have no opinion on this. The only thing I can say in response to that is the old story about 10 people on a street corner witness a car wreck right in front of them. And if a cop goes to interview those 10 witnesses, he's going to get 10 different stories because everyone has their own perspective on what happens right in front of them, even if, the facts are all the same. Blue car hit red car. Those are facts. But then there is the subjectivity of what they saw. So, people have said different things about the same incident. And I have no opinion on it either way because I haven't seen it. I wasn't there. I haven't seen video of it. I haven't heard audio of it. So I have no opinion. Archie fan account says Tiger Cat said Jeff didn't even know what her last name was. Jeff proceeded to say he did and then said her last name and she blew up. Okay, well, if that's what happened, and Slim, if you can confirm what Archie said, if that's what happened, then honestly, I don't blame TK for blowing up. I mean, good morning, Pizza Woman. Good to see you here. If Jeff did that, then I am of the opinion that that TK had every right to be upset if she doesn't want her last. I don't even know her last name. I don't. And if she doesn't want that information out there on the web, I mean, there was an incident in one of the chats, I think it was Lou's chat or BVD's, one or the other, where Melissa May was going to war with another regular on those channels about, he was allegedly giving out Melissa May's personal information, past relationships or other type of information, and she didn't want it out there. And she was pissed. Okay, well, I understand that. I mean, I don't know if my last name is out there on the internet. I know my first name is. And if you all are friends with me on Facebook, you know my first and last name. And we probably know where I live, or at least the city. I don't say that very often on YouTube, just because I choose not to. I'm pretty sure a few folks here know what city I live in. I don't know if you all know my last name. It's not terribly important. But if TK didn't want her last name out there on a stream, which is probably still up and running, as a viewable video, then, and she got mad at Jeff for doing that, then I don't blame her. That's not something that he has the right to do without her permission. Now, if TK provoked Jeff in some way, okay, that's a mitigating circumstance. I don't know. I wasn't there. But if TK is upset with Jeff about him giving away personal information that she didn't want out there, he should have respected that and not done it. And that's all I'm going to say about that, because that's a fight between those two. I'm not involved. I don't want to get involved. They're both my friends, and I just don't want to get involved. But other than saying that, in general, if person A gives out person B's information about person B, and person B doesn't want that information out there, person A and everyone else should respect that. Let's see. F. Fletch thinks my line about chronologically an adult is funny. Okay. Archie 2024. You know what? I'd vote for Archie for president over over Kamala Harris and her sock puppet any day. But that's just me. Let's see. Maddie says he was in the StreamYard when TK blew up on Jeff. It was because apparently Jeff said what her Facebook account name was, but I don't think Jeff meant it as malicious. And it was her first name, he said, according to Slim Shady. Okay. It was so uncomfortable. Maddie goes on further. It was so uncomfortable to be in that StreamYard. And afterward, when I was talking to Chess Hall, she kept messaging him to take the video down. And Maddie also says, Slim Shady Kane, I can corroborate that. I don't know what TK's last name is. I just know he mentioned her Facebook account after she was railing on him, and then she went nuclear. Archie says she forced Chess to take it down. Jeff didn't do anything wrong. She literally said, I bet you don't even know my Facebook name. And he responded that he did. She made a big deal out of nothing. Well, okay. Given all that, thank you, Maddie and Slim and Archie, for that. I mean, that gives context. I wish both of them were here to give their individual sides of it, but they're not. And quite frankly, I don't know if I'd want that, but given all that, I don't agree, Archie, that it's a big deal out of nothing. I don't agree that this is nothing. Now, Uncle Lou has made his real name known on the internet, on his streams and stuff like that, several times. I've been there when he's done it. I believe he's given his address out a couple of times to trolls that say they're going to come to his house and kick his ass, which, by the way, I wouldn't recommend, because I believe the man is armed and two real good-sized dogs if he can pistols. So I don't believe that Lou is a static target, if you will. Now I happen to, and I know like BVD has given his name out on streams several times. A few of you in this stream here today have addressed me by my real name, which is my first name, which is Dane, D-A-N-E. I've even introduced some of my streams, my videos, as saying, because of the non-watch videos, and I put them on Facebook to publicize them. And I know I'm addressing multiple audiences. I'm addressing in those videos my watch subscribers. my sports subscribers, my car subscribers. Some of you guys know me as SaleenDriver. Some of you guys know me as Dane. And I say that at the beginning of the video. I always start out, greetings, SaleenDriver, or if you know me as Dane, it's Dane. So my first name's out there. I've said the city where I live a few times. I don't go saying it every time I get on because I really don't want to do that, but it's out there. But there are some people out there that want to be under their pseudonyms, like Slim Shady Kane. Obviously, I don't know what the man's real name is. It's not material. If he wants to tell me and or tell everyone else, that's his business. But if he prefers to be behind the pseudonym Slim Shady Kane, I respect that. I'm not going to ask him, okay, what's your first name, son? And get off my channel if you won't give it to me, you son of a bitch. No. He is Slim Shady. I know Lou's real name. I know his son's real name. I think I know his daughter's real name and his wife's real name. But when I stopped now, about a year ago, last November, on the way home from my fourth trip to the Tail of the Dragon, I asked Lou if I could stop by in Augusta and meet him. And he was very gracious and permitted that. I don't know if he makes a habit of that or not, but back then anyway. And that's how I ended up on the morning show in studio. His first in studio guest was me. And I knew his name already. And even knowing his name, he was Uncle Lou to me. So I kept referring to him as Lou the entire time over the weekend. I know his first name isn't Lou. You all know his first name isn't Lou, but I refer to him as Lou. His father, I had lunch with Lou and his son and his father. And every time I called his son Lou, his father would look at me like, are you stupid? But Lou responded to Lou as Lou. So it's like these professional wrestlers, like, Triple H, Hunter Hearst Helmsley. That's his wrestling name. His real name is Paul Levesque. But everyone calls him Triple H. Hell, they call him Triple H outside of the wrestling business. So they call him Hunter or Triple H or whatever. I think he even got married, and they said, do you, Hunter, take Stephanie as your lawful wedded wife? Something like that. Maybe not. Maybe I heard that wrong. But, my point is that, TK wants to be known as Tiger Cat or TK in this forum. If she allows you to know her real name, that's fine. But she has requested, or she has made it clear, that she wants to be referred to in this forum, in this environment, as TK or Tiger Cat. And I respect that. There are lines not to cross in this kind of environment because there are stupid people out there. That's all I have to say on that, I guess. I hope I don't meet any of these stupid people in my life and my line of work. Not line of work, but my line of YouTubing. I mean, I don't have the following that Lou or BVD does, obviously. I mean, I think I have a tenth the channel size that BVD does. God knows he doesn't want to have any crazies in his life. He's already got enough. I don't want any of these crazy. I don't want to piss someone off to the point where they're going to come and try and find me. Don't think it hasn't been threatened a few times, but so people want their privacy. I respect that. And if TK wants to be mad at Jeff for outing her in that way, then TK has every right to. And quite frankly, I don't think she owes him an apology. She's upset. He transgressed. So maybe Jeff owes her an apology. I don't know. I wasn't there. But, you know, he transgressed against her. She's upset and she blew up, evidently. Now, if TK transgressed against Jeff and Jeff was playing tit for tat, that's another story. So maybe TK provoked Jeff. I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't have the video to watch, evidently, so I can only go on what you guys just said. So it sounds like Jeff provoked TK, TK blew up. Now, if I'm missing something, I'm sorry. I don't mean to, but that's what I got in the comment section. Jeff provoked TK, TK got angry. Well, you know, I mean, the same thing happened to me. I unintentionally provoked TK a 3 months ago. I didn't mean to do it. I was being a wise ass like I always am, you know, shooting my mouth off without thinking, made a crass remark that I thought was relatively innocent. It set TK off. And then TK blew up at me. And then I got mad at TK because I think I'm being unjustly persecuted, for want of a better word, until I found out the facts. And then I realized that I had provoked TK. And she had every right to respond to me the way she did. And I apologized. And we had a long offline talk. And we worked shit out. And, you know, everything is good again between me and TK. And I love her to death. I have even more respect for her than I did before. And I learned a valuable lesson about how I should conduct myself. And for that, I'm grateful. So, you know, you can push somebody and provoke, unintentionally or not, provoke a reaction. And then you got to do some thinking about, now, what did I do in all this to make this happen? And maybe, you know, do some thinking. Let's see. Yeah, Fletch, excellent point. Women in general need to be more vigilant than men on personally identifiable information. I think we all know that, or should. Absolutely. 200% correct. Women had, you know, I realize, you know, it's unfair. In a perfect world, it shouldn't be that way, but women need to be hundreds of times more vigilant about this kind of thing than men do. And it's a shame, but that's the way it is. I'm sorry. You know. Let's see. Archie says, note to self, don't troll Lou. Good idea. Lou's golf cap says, trolling my wearer may lead to unforeseen consequences. Probably. Slim Shady Kane says, Alex. I'm guessing that's your first name, Slim? That's my younger daughter's first name is Alex. Well, Alexandra, but Alex. Let's see. Bama Buddy. Sorry I brought it up. I just know I haven't seen her. I was just wondering. No. It's not a bad thing. For one thing, it's a good thing to talk about. And you're concerned about your friend. So am I. But I just learned a few things about what happened that caused this whole thing. So I'm grateful for that. Context is always a good thing, even when it's a bad thing, if that makes sense. Neo, Saleen, I do not know your last name because you do know my last name because I've seen it in the Patreon account. Well, okay, but please leave it in your head. I'd appreciate that, sir. Fletch says BBD gave his real home address out. I sent him a few bags of really expensive Kona coffee. Yeah, I have BVD's address. I sent him a few MIDI helmets. Undertaker. Maddie says the Undertaker. That's become my unofficial nickname. Yeah, Undertaker's real name is Mark Callis, which is not a bad wrestling name in its own right. Callis. Archie's fan account says I've been watching BVD since I was a little kid, and even now that I know his real name, I will always call him BVD. I get where you're coming. Yeah, when I meet a lot of these guys, hopefully I'm meeting a lot of you guys at the Slav Olympics. Kevin Cook, I guess that's his real name. D4, I'll probably refer to him as D4, even though I don't know his real name, but I know him as D4. I know Lou is Lou. I know BVD is BVD. I know D4 is D4. Kevin Cook is Kevin Cook. ACP Carter, I know his first name, but I'll probably just keep calling him Carter because that's what I always call him. Chess, I don't know what Chess Hall's real name is. Is it Chess? Is it Chester? I don't know what Chess Hall's real name. I think Chess Hall is his real name. I'll just refer to him as Chess or Big Boy. Let's see. Slim Shady Kane says she more than deserved it. Well, Slim, you were there. I wasn't, so I'm going to defer to you on that. Quite honestly, all I know is what you guys have typed in here in the last 10 minutes. Neo says, I've heard Lou's real name and his son's real name and BVD's real name. Yeah, so have I. Archie says Jeff wasn't even arguing. She was just yelling at him and said at one point, you don't even know my Facebook name. He responded by saying that he did. I think TK just likes the drama. I don't think TK is a drama queen, but again, that's perspective. I wouldn't refer to TK as a drama queen. I know some drama queens in my life. She doesn't fit the profile that I set as a drama queen. But again, perspective. Different people see the same things differently. Let's see. Matt says TK joined as Arlene. Oh yeah, that's her alter ego. Which I thought Arlene was funny. I really did. Arlene railed on Jeff. Arlene then becomes TK. TK gets mad and starts yelling at Jeff. She then kind of taunts him about it. Okay, well, all right. Well, then. And you're telling me that Jeff didn't do anything to provoke this? I know Jeff a little bit. I like Jeff, but he can be a bit of a shit stirrer himself. I don't think anyone would argue this. But then again, that perspective. I like Jeff. I think I love his stories. I think I'm in a minority there. But I don't know. Jeff is a professional shit stirrer. And I'm good with that because I like to stir shit up myself. But if he stirs in the wrong direction, he could probably set somebody off. Let's see. Matt says Jeff responds to disprove her. He thinks in a reasonable manner. And then the missile known as TK-45 was launched in TikTok, Chess Hall StreamYard, experiences a nuclear winter. It's a nice way of putting it. Very inventive. Archie's fan account said most people that were there agree that it was 100% on TK. I really think she just wanted to cause drama. That's my opinion. Neo says my name is known by some. It's just put out there by me. Matt says Chess Hall's real name is Chess. Okay. Neo says I don't give away any other people's names, personal info ever. Appreciate that. Slim says everything Jeff said was about football. Albert asks what's Lou and BVD's real names. Ask them. If they want you to know, they'll tell you. I know them. I'm not going to say them because I don't have permission to. Matt says he's got to go. Got to pick up a cake. Is it chocolate cake? Oh, it's chocolate. I like chocolate cake. Archie's fan account. Jeff never got angry, never argued about personal stuff, and never raised his voice. He did nothing wrong. Well, okay. Well, chocolate cake. Okay, good. Well, okay. I think we've beaten that one to death. What is some? Let's pick something else to talk about. And I promised to put the link in for the yard here. See if anybody wants to jump on. That's the link for the StreamYard. If somebody wants to come on and hang with me, you don't have to, of course. But all good stuff. Wait a minute. I got a text message. I wonder if it's about my car. Nope. Damn it. I want my car back. Well, I have another car, so it's not like it's not like I don't have a car, but I just don't like my car being in a shop any longer than it has to be. Okay. Pizza Woman wants to talk about games being canceled. Well, let's see. Let's see. What's canceled this week? Let's see. Oh, there's some games on Thursday. Florida Atlantic at Southern Miss, Pittsburgh at Georgia Tech. Those games are still on. Let's see. Friday the 11th, we've got UTEP North Texas. Boring. Arizona State at Arizona. Boring. Utah at Colorado. Worthless. Nevada at San Jose State. San Jose State has a team. Let's see. Western Carolina at North Carolina has been postponed. Marshall at FIU. Charlotte at Marshall. Those are canceled. Moving on. Oh, an important basketball game, if anybody cares. Florida plays at Florida State at 11 in the morning. How do you play basketball at 11 in the friggin' morning? I don't even do well walking at 11 in the morning, but all right, whatever. So what's canceled for Saturday the 12th? Well, postponed, canceled. Troy at South Alabama, nobody cares. Vandy at Mizzou, postponed. UL Monroe at Archie State, postponed. Louisville, Boston College, postponed. Texas A&M at Tennessee, postponed. Now that's interesting. A&M is 7-1. If Florida wins at LSU, Florida wins against LSU, Florida's 9-1. Now, I may not be the best at math, but 9-1 percentage-wise is better than 7-1. Yes, I know A&M beat Florida. Yes, I know that. I know. But a 9-1 team that's played 2 more games than a 7-1 team, percentage-wise, was that 90% versus 80-something percent? I think Florida should go around A&M at this point because A&M has played 2 fewer games than Florida. And even if they make up a game on the 19th, they still have played 2 fewer games than Florida. And if Florida wins against Alabama, they're in. But even, for right now, Florida needs to. I think Florida needs to jump A&M, but nobody agrees with me. Michigan at Ohio State canceled. Michigan is a bunch of cowards. Ohio at Kent State canceled. Notre Dame at Wake canceled. Oregon State, Sanford canceled. Cincinnati at Tulsa canceled. I think some of those teams are actually playing, though. But amazingly, Florida State is going to come out of their month-long cowardice and play Duke. Oh, and believe it or not, Florida State is favored by 4.5 points over Duke at home. Pathetic. I don't know why Florida State's even bothering. They're a bunch of gutless cowards. But they're going to play. Evidently, they decided that they've had enough avoiding beatdowns. They are actually going to crawl out of their little holes, suit up that fake engine, paint them up real nice, stick them on that old nag, hand them the flaming toothpick, and go, and psych up all the criminal mouth breathers, and lead the field, lead the team onto the field against Duke. 2-8 Duke. Oh, be still my heart. You criminals are so brave. I wish we were playing you guys. We would have played you in that dump you call a football stadium this year. Would have been so nice to ring up 60 points on you. With that offense, even with that defense, you couldn't stop them. They'd run through you like crap through a goose. Would have loved to have played Florida State this year. The link didn't show? Oh. All right, hang on. Try it again. Put it down here, too, just for good measure. I don't know. I got two different chats going here, the YouTube version and the StreamYard version. So I put it in both this time. So let's see if something happens. Let's see. Nope, must have worked because there is my friend, Mr. Slim Shady Kane. What's up, Mr. Slim?
I have an honest question for you. Was
your microphone on? Wait a minute.
Can you hear me?
Yep, there you go. I had my volume off. Sorry.
I have an honest question for you. Was Florida hiding in a hole when they didn't play LSU?
No, Florida had the corona.
Okay, well, as far as we know, that's what FSU has.
You were the last person I would suspect standing up for FSU.
Hey, they didn't take us off the schedule. I got a little respect for them.
They should. Yeah, well, I have a lot of respect for Miami beating the snot out of them. Because anytime Miami plays Florida State, I become a Miami fan for one day. One day. Also because my attorney was a graduate from Miami.
It's a decent law school.
Oh, it's a very good law school. I would never accuse Miami. Academically, Miami is a good school all around. I mean,
oh yeah, they're top 20 in the nation academically.
Oh yeah, I know these things, and I love my attorney Lindsay to death. But I just can't stand it. It's the same situation with Lou. Having grown up in Augusta his whole life and having to deal with all those South Carolina fans just over the border, You know, I literally only know one in my town. I know one alum of Miami, and that's my attorney. But I know several dozen Florida State alum. All went to high school together. You know, our class split about 50-50 in terms of the number of people who went to Florida versus Florida State. And I have to hear it from them all the time, you know. So you just grow a certain level of contempt for Florida State. Archie's leaving, so thanks for stopping by, Archie. Good dog, pet, good dog. I must be doing something right, Slim. I'm starting to get users in here with interesting user account names.
You have succeeded in life, sir.
Yes, I have. I feel like I have succeeded in life. But no, I just think the way Florida State handled the Clemson game and what was it, the Virginia game? You know, where the team is
for sure.
The team was in town, for God's sake, and you cancel the game while they're in town. I mean, seriously.
Well, that could have also been something along the lines of it happened here in high school football in Tennessee. One of actually a few of the coronavirus tests didn't come back until after they had already arrived and found out that somebody that traveled with the team had it. So they ended up canceling the game literally a couple hours before kickoff.
I just think the way Florida State is handling it says it just doesn't smell. It doesn't pass the smell test for me.
Well, I tell you something that doesn't pass the smell test for me is the ACC canceling Notre Dame and Clemson's games for this weekend to preserve one of them from taking a loss to mess up the ACC championship game.
Well, I didn't see that on the list here.
Neither are playing this week.
Hang on. You're right. Some bitch.
They did. They canceled that because they determined, they're both going to the ACC championship game. Now, I'm not saying that Miami would win it, but I mean, with what they've done with the season, they deserve their shot to go.
Who is Clemson supposed to play?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I see the Notre Dame Wake Forest was canceled. Well, I don't think Notre Dame had anything to worry about with Wake Forest, but
well, that's why they played the game.
Yeah, I did make that point earlier myself with respect to the Florida-Alabama game. I mean, nobody's giving Florida a chance, but
well, I mean, both of them have high-powered offenses, and I mean, if you want to compare them, I mean, at least Alabama has something resembling a defense.
Oh, Alabama's got a pretty good defense. I mean, it's not lights out like some of the defenses out there. No. It certainly improved through the year.
So, I mean, by that logic, all Alabama's got to do is get one or two stops, and they win.
Yeah, but I've been saying that about Florida all along this year. All Florida with that offense has to do is somehow, scrape themselves up off the ground and stop their opponent one or two times. And then the offense scores and builds a bit of a lead, and they should be able to win the game. But lately,
whose defense do you trust more in that game, Florida's or Alabama's?
Oh, Alabama's definitely. I mean, I've been watching the Florida defense all year. I wouldn't trust them to stop a peewee team. No, seriously. I mean, that defense. Have you ever watched that defense line up before a snap? They're looking around all over the place like, over here, no, over here, no, over here.
I mean, Stetson Bennett made them look pretty good.
Hey, what?
Said Stetson Bennett made them look pretty good.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true. But then again, Florida also, gave them a couple of chances and say, oh, here you go, let's make it interesting. And a couple of, one or two plays go the other way, and Florida could have ended up losing that game too.
You're right.
And that, an offense in a team like Alabama, for example, let's say Matt Jones throws a pick six. I mean, it can happen against any team. It could be anybody. It doesn't team X. He throws a pick six. Okay. Now they got a touchdown on the board. The game is closer than it should be. But Alabama has a defense that they can rely on to, shut them down, get the ball back, and, go down the field and score again and make up for that mistake. My fear is if Trask makes a mistake, throws a pick six, and all of a sudden the game is now one touchdown closer than it should be, Florida doesn't have a defense that they can rely on to shut down the opponent, give Trask the ball back, and build that lead back again. And if that one pass had gone for a pick six in the Georgia game, and then all of a sudden a 13-point game is now a 6-point game.
Yep.
Oh boy. You don't think I would have aged 20 years in that last few minutes of that game?
Oh, probably.
I think I'd be dead by now. Florida doesn't have a defense. I mean, Florida's defense has risen up on a lot of occasions when they had to and made a critical play here and there when they had to. And yeah, they do actually, for some reason, lead the conference in sacks. So the defense isn't as non-existent as I think they are.
That means front four at the very least is good.
Yeah, but can I rely on that front four and the rest of that defense to shut down Najee Harris and the Slim Reaper and all the other guys Alabama's got as many weapons as we do, and the running game is a little better. Well, quite a bit better.
I'm about to say their running game is a lot better.
Yeah. Well, actually, our running game has shown some signs of life lately, especially with that. Who's that guy, number 6? I can never remember the guy's name. But he's shown good promise. I wish that transfer we had from you guys would be playing this year, but I think he's playing next year.
Well, he's listed at 4th string on the depth chart.
Yeah, like I said, he's not playing this year. I don't know why he's listed at all. I don't think I've ever seen him take the field.
He has.
Is he even dressing?
I'm assuming. And I think watching one of the Florida games, I saw him. The problem with him is you don't know if his knee is going to be back to right. And that's the whole reason he transferred, because he thought he was ready to play last year, and the coaching staff didn't think he was, because he tore every ligament in his knee. He tore all 3.
Ugh. That's bad.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why they're holding him out. The same reason that Georgia held JT Daniels out. They didn't trust his knee.
Georgia held JT Daniels out because Kirby Smart is offensively illiterate.
Yes, I know that, but I'm trying to be nice. All right, fuck it. I'm not trying to be. I always love the way people clown my head coach. He doesn't know what he's doing, blah, blah, blah. He's a clown. He does all these goofy things, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And yet you've got Kirby Smart, who can't pick a quarterback. And he's got all this talent around him, and he keeps making the wrong choices. And yet my coach is a fool. Okay. Whatever.
Well, off of the football field, Dan Mullen gives people a lot more ammunition than Kirby Smart does. That's the problem.
Yeah, well, Dan Mullen and Kirby Smart are two completely different personalities.
Well, no doubt.
Personally, I like a head coach that can have a little fun and liven things up a little bit. I mean, I actually thought it was funny when he showed up to that PC dressed as Darth Vader. I thought that was funny as hell. I mean, why not? The game is being played a day after Halloween. Let's have a little fun with the idiots who purport to be call themselves media. You know, they're all clowns too, so why not clown them? But then again, that's my personal bias coming through.
I actually have a bet this weekend with Pete because Pete believes North Carolina is going to come down to Miami and win.
North Carolina has got to be one of these. Every year there's like 2 or 3 of these teams that are Jekyll and Hyde teams. You just don't know what the hell you're going to get. I don't know what the hell you're going to get with North Carolina this week.
I don't think North Carolina is a Jekyll and Hyde team. I think that all they have is an offense, and if you figure out how to stop it, there goes North Carolina.
I mean, they spotted Florida State 31 points and then almost won the game.
Florida State was able to stop them for a half.
Yeah. That would be nice if we could do that. Let's see what we do against LSU. Maybe it'll give me some hope.
I'm not too worried about North Carolina's offense going up against our defense. I mean, I know they're going to move the ball, and I know they're going to put up some points. But after the way the defense played against Duke and the way the offense was able to roll against their defense, which would be comparable to North Carolina's defense, I don't have a whole lot of worries.
Yeah. Well, a lot of the predictors out there, the wizards of smart, or they'd like to think they are, when they do their bowl predictions, they see Miami and Florida meeting up in the Orange Bowl.
Yeah, I've seen that one, and I've seen Miami and Georgia. I wouldn't have a problem with either one of those games, to be honest with you. I really wouldn't.
I think you match up real well with either team myself.
I think we do. Our defense is solid, and like most offenses, we'd have a field day against your defense.
Yeah. But assuming all our players don't opt out, what happened over there? All of a sudden your picture went goofy on this screen and it's fine over here. Whatever. Assuming our offense stays intact and plays the bowl game, I think we can light it up pretty good. I think that game turns into a track meet.
I think it could. I don't think you'll have Kyle Pitts for the bowl game.
Really?
Unless it's a playoff game, I don't think you'll have Kyle Pitts. I see him sitting out.
I haven't seen any indication that he'd do that, but then again, I could see it.
He's going to be the first wide receiver taken in the draft, more than likely.
He's definitely going to play on Sundays. It's a shame. I enjoyed watching him play, but when he goes to the Felons League, I'll never see him again.
Well, and just for clarification, he will never line up as a tight end in the NFL. He's not big enough, and he can't block good enough.
No, I think he'd probably be a number 2.
Probably.
Yeah, I don't think he's. I think he's actually a little too big, heavy big to be a number 1 receiver. But I could definitely see him lining up in the slot. How'd you like to see Kyle Pitts go over the middle in one of these no fun league games against some of these he's as big as any of the linebackers, and he's taller, so he'd definitely be a matchup problem for a linebacker.
He's taller than a linebacker, but he's not bigger than a linebacker.
No, that's what I meant when I said bigger. I meant taller.
Okay, yeah, I'm about to say, because a linebacker probably still outweighs him by 50 pounds.
50?
Yeah, right close to it.
Linebackers are up around 300 now? I thought Pitts was in the 250 range.
No, Pitts not. Man, you can look at Pitts and see he's probably in the 215 range.
I haven't looked. I mean, I haven't looked at his. I
scrawny
haven't looked at his body stats. So
he's kind of scrawny looking.
he is okay. Or line him up as a number 2 and send him out there against some of the safeties. That would be funny.
Yeah, safeties or
Corners.
I mean, if you have a good lockdown corner like a Darrelle Revis in his prime, I don't see him having much problem with Kyle Pitts, but you really don't have that real lockdown island corner like him right now.
No, they don't breed them like that anymore. They bred all the hitting out. It's a shame.
Yeah, well, and that's why a lot of people say that it's football is offense driven now. It is to the extent that all the rule changes have all benefited the offense.
Oh, I agree. I would just like our defense to wake the hell up every once in a while.
I think Todd Grantham is doing a great job.
Well, I expect you to say that, sir. I really, if you said anything else, I'd think you were having a fever.
Hey, I said y'all messed up letting go of Randy Shannon, which, I mean, I expected to happen. I didn't think Dan Mullen would keep him. And to be perfectly honest with you, I was kind of sad to see him wearing a Gators polo.
So was I. Whatever happened to him?
He's the D coordinator at UCF. Where he's been since he left there.
Oh, no kidding. I honestly didn't know that. I wish we'd get Charlie Strong back.
I'd take Randy Shannon back in Miami in a heartbeat.
Not as a head coach.
I don't have a lot of hate for him like a lot of people did as a head coach, because he was continuously dealing with Donna Shalala cutting his budget. And I mean, you when you can't keep your coordinators in place because the university president doesn't want to pay them anything, that's not really your fault.
No, that's true.
And
How did Shalala get to be president of the University of Miami? I never understood that.
Biggest mistake they ever made.
I mean, what are her qualifications other than ethnicity and gender?
She was before she was there, she was chancellor or vice chancellor of the University of Wisconsin. Whatever that means. Because that was the rumor at the time when she came in. She came in 2001, early 2001. So the rumor was when she came in that Miami was going to hire Barry Alvarez to replace Wood Davis.
But have you ever heard Donna Shalala speak? This woman's a moron.
Hey, of course she is. She got elected.
I've had better. I think I could have a better conversation with a potted plant.
Nobody.
But that's just me.
You're not going to find a University of Miami fan that's going to disagree with you. Nobody likes her.
Well, she's gone now, so I think she's gone. Yeah, she's gone.
Yeah,
long gone.
She spent 2 years or whatever the term is as a House rep on the federal level there in Dade County, and then she got booted out in the last election.
Yeah. She ought to go write a book or make a stew or something. Just stay out of public life. Too goddamn stupid.
Drift at sea in a rowboat for all I care.
Yeah. But I would like to see Charlie Strong back on the Gator sideline. I thought he was an excellent DC. He knows how to recruit in the area. The players loved his system. They bought in. They played for him. I think Grantham has lost a bit of the locker room. I really don't think he knows what he's doing, and I think he's losing the team. The one thing I was grateful for was finally watching Mullen crawl up his ass and give him what fur on the sideline. I'm saying that's a long time coming. More of that, please, sir. May I have a little more, please?
Well, I mean, I'll give the coach the blame that he deserves, but I know Florida's had a problem the past couple of years of keeping recruits there. So I mean, if all your top recruits are leaving, then you can't exactly blame him for the end result.
Well, fortunately, a lot of top recruits are now staying. So onwards and upwards, as they say.
Well, yeah, coronavirus kind of helped with that. Everybody had to stay employed.
Oh my! I gotta go.
All right, boss.
There's only 4 people in here anyway, so time to wrap it up. But
all right, boss.
Have you left yet, or are you about to leave?
Yeah, I'm pulling off the scale now.
All right. Well, you be safe, sir.
A whole cluster.
Now, watch out for them 4-wheelers. They don't know what they're doing.
Oh
yeah. Thanks for coming on, man. I appreciate it.
All right, boss.
See you. All right. Well, there's only 4 people left in here. I got to go anyway. So I appreciate everyone for stopping by. I do. It's always a good time on the Wednesdays. I should do more streams. I really should. But find the time. Where is the time? I have to find the time. But I'll find the time. I'll do some more. Anyway, everyone who's still here, everyone who was here, appreciate y'all being here. Be safe. Stay well. Stay healthy. Holidays are starting up. Hanukkah starts on the 10th. That's tomorrow, based on when this video was made. So Hanukkah is coming tomorrow. Got Christmas in about 2 weeks. New Year's in 3 weeks. We get rid of this idiot, horrible 2020. Can't wait for I'm hoping 2021 can't be any worse, but God knows it could be if we're not careful. So let's everyone treat each other, treat each other decently. Be good to each other. And thank you, Pizza Woman. Happy Hanukkah. Merry Christmas to you too. I'll see y'all in the next one, of course, in another week or sooner if I feel like it and I get the opportunity. Have a good rest of the day, folks.